so we talked about division a couple different ways. We talked about how you can simply turn a division problem around into a multiplication problem. Remember my secret I told you? I never divide. Neither do you, probably. We have division facts memorized, but we really don't divide. So to solve this problem right here, I'm going to think of 3 times something equals 15. Now, what goes in the box?
5.
Okay, now let's read this problem, though, because Cooper's right. It's not just 15 ones. 3 groups of 5 tenths equals 15 tenths. So 15 tenths is written or 5 tenths is written as, good. Okay, this is the first thing we practiced. Let's keep going. 6 groups of blank hundredths equals 24 hundredths. Now don't tell me any answers yet. Okay, now I like to think of this in unit form instead of standard form. But to solve this problem, I'm going to do 6 times something equals 24.
4.
6 times 4 equals 24. So let me read this. 6 groups of 4 hundredths is 24 hundredths. Make sense?
Yes.
How do I write 4 hundredths?
Yeah,
Good. Okay, let's do the next one. And this is pretty much identical to your exit ticket. You just have different digits. Okay, so this one says, this should be, bless you, 45 thousandths. Okay, so to solve this problem, I think of 5 times something equals 45. 9. So let's put 9. Notice I don't have any decimals over here.
No.
Because it's unit form. Katie, you were gone, but I think this is going to get you caught up. Okay? So now, 5 groups of 9 thousandths. How do I write that? Okay, so fist to 5 on turning it around, making it multiplication. Pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever place value you start with, you have to end with. That's what you have to remember, okay? Now this is the part that got a little tricky. So what I did was, I modified it. Actually made it harder. They had, oh, let me show you on the other one. Couple more. Maybe. They had little words in here to kind of help us, but I think it's actually making us more confused. So I just replaced it with lines, okay? So let's go back to the homework page. There it is. And let's take a look at the first one. It says 9 and 36 hundredths divided by 3. Now here's what I don't want to do. Are you looking up here? Cooper, I don't want you to work ahead of me today. I don't want you to do 936 hundredths divided by 3. I want you to decompose this number. And when I decompose it, everybody write that down. You're on the wrong side, Corbin. Okay? All right. I've got to come up with something that makes sense I can do in my head. So I don't want to pull out 93 tenths because I can't do that in my head yet. Well, I think you could, but what makes more sense?
9 and 6.
Yeah, let's divide it between the 9 and the 3. 9 ones divided by 3. Put that in parentheses. Plus, what's left over here? 36 what?
Hundredths.
Why do you say hundredths?
Because
The 6 is in what place value? The hundredths. So it's 36 hundredths divided by 3. Now, believe it or not, this is getting you ready for long division. So now I have 2 division problems. And I'm going to write them down, but you don't have to. Okay? I've got 9 divided by 3, and I've got 36 divided by 3. So what's 9 divided by 3? 3. And I could even think of this, couldn't I? 3 times something equals 9? 3. So I've got 3 ones under that set of parentheses, plus, I could think of this one as 3 times something equals 36.
12.
12. How'd you get it so fast?
Because 11 times 3 is 33.
Oh, and you just added 3 more. Did you hear that? 11 times 3? I thought maybe you remembered the song I taught you on Friday.
Well,
Kind of? Okay. So she said it's 12 hundredths. Good strategy. So 3 ones plus 12 hundredths, 3 and 12 hundredths. Okay, that's a quick little review of Friday. Is it coming back to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do B. What I think most of the kids didn't understand is that we have 2 division problems to do inside of all of this. Since we broke it apart, we're going to divide twice. Okay? Okay, let's do B. So help me out here. How would you divide these?
36.
I think so. If you did 360 and 12, that would be too hard, wouldn't it? I don't think it would be too hard for you, but let's get this in something that makes sense. So this is 36 ones plus 12 what? Thousandths. Okay, so 36 ones divided by what? 3. Put that in parentheses. Plus 12 thousandths divided by 3. Okay, so I have 2 division problems, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to write them, but you don't have to. I have 36 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3. What happens if I don't have those memorized? How can I figure it out? Couldn't I do 3 times something equals 12? What goes in the box?
4.
So the answer to this one is 4. And we already know the answer to this one. We did it up here, didn't we?
Yeah.
So 12 what?
4
Plus
4,000.
4 thousandths. Okay, so what's 12 ones?
12 and
Okay, do I have any tenths? Do I have any hundredths? Do I have any thousandths?
Yes.
Okay, how are we doing?
Good.
Okay, let's do C. Now what makes sense here? If I divide it between, Cooper, answer this question for me. Why wouldn't I want to make this 3 and 55?
Because you can't divide 3 by 5.
Very good. You'll learn how to later in the year, but you don't know how to do it yet.
So we're going to put 35 and 5.
So you'll have to put 35 and 5 when you decompose that number, okay? Now it doesn't mean 35 ones.
35 tenths.
She says 35 tenths. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. So 35 tenths. What are we dividing by?
5.
Divide by 5. Plus, what's left over? 5 hundredths. And still divided by 5. So what are my 2 division problems? Give me one of them, Katie. 35 divided by 5. Okay. And 5 divided by 5. Good. So what's the answer to 5 divided by 5?
7. 1.
1.
Oh.
I started over here, didn't I? Yeah. And 35 divided by 5?
7.
What multiplication problem can I use if I don't know the answer to that?
5 times
5 times 7 equals 7 what here?
7 tenths.
Tenths. You guys are doing great. Now let's see how to add this one up. Do I have any ones?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No.
Not on this line, I don't. Okay, do I have any tenths?
Yes.
Do I have any hundreds?
Yes.
I'm done. Yes.
Why did they have that big line?
I don't know, because when I redid it, I just made all the lines the same. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Again, what Cooper said, well, I'm not going to do 3 divided by 5. That wouldn't make any sense. Jane, where's the only place really that makes sense to divide this one? What two numbers? 35 and 45. Are those both divisible by 5? Yes, they are. Okay, so the first one is not 35 ones. 35 tenths. Why is it tenths?
Because if you're gonna do those two, then
No, how do I know this is tenths?
the value that's in the last slot.
The value in the last slot is a 5. What place value is it? The tenths. Same thing here. The 5 is in what place value? Thousands, so that's what you write. Okay, what are my 2 division problems? Jesus.
35 divided by 5, 45
Good. Okay, so what is 35 divided by 5?
7.
And what is 45 divided by 5? Okay, you know your 5s pretty well, don't you? So this is 7 what?
7 tenths.
Tenths plus
9
thousands. It's fine. Be nice. So do I have any ones? Do I have any do I have any tenths?
Yes.
How many?
7.
Do I have any hundreds?
No.
Do I have any thousands?
Yes.
Okay. How are we doing? Fist to 5.
20.
Feel like you can do your exit ticket?
Yeah.
Before you do, I've got some challenge problems for you. So put your pencil down. You're going to have to look up here at my board. These problems are now in file 13, but we're going to practice them anyway. Okay, so take a look at number 3. Take a look at number 3. You don't have to write this anywhere, okay? I just need your brains up here at the board working for me with your pencils down. Okay? Says 32 divided by 8 equals blank. Well, let me read the directions first. It says find the quotients, then use words, numbers, or pictures to describe any relationship you notice between each pair of problems and quotients. So what kind of relationship do you notice here? All the digits are the same. What's different, Ella? What's different? Okay, she said this one's ones and this one's tenths. You agree?
Yeah.
What's the answer to the ones problem?
4.
What's the answer to the tenths?
0.4.
So 4 tenths? Yeah. So what relationship do you see, Jaden? You guys listen to what she's saying. Are you still arguing about that? Okay. Okay, go ahead, Jaden. What relationship do you see? Can I use my basic fact of 32 divided by 8 to answer this question? Yes. What's the only difference? The second one has a decimal. Put it on or put it in your locker. Same thing goes for the necklace. Here I am recording and I have to keep stopping. So how much larger is this answer than this answer? I'm just curious.
10. It's
10 times larger. How do you know it was 10 times larger?
Because that was in one place value smaller.
That's right. One place value to the left means times 10. 10 times. Okay, same thing here. 81 divided by 9. What's the answer? Say this number for me. 81.
81,000.
Did anyone else do this trick?
It's 1,000.
So I knew that I had to have 3 place values in my answer because I have 3 place values right here. Okay, same relationship. Same digits, different place value. Okay, down at the bottom. Pay attention, I'm going to make you write this down. It says, are the quotients below reasonable? Explain your answers. A is 5 6/10 divided by 7 equals 8.
Yes.
Jaden says no, Alondra says yes. Who's correct? Doesn't really matter.
Alondra.
The answer to this is no, it's not reasonable. Why isn't it reasonable, Jaden?
Because you have to decimal back.
If you're going to take the decimal out and make this 56/10, what's your answer going to be?
It's going to round to 60.
No,
8 tenths.
8/10. And what did they make their answer? 8 ones. So Jaden was right, that's not reasonable. Take a look at this one.
No.
Rustin says no, I think you're onto something here.
Yes.
Why isn't this one reasonable?
Because there's no decimal.
56 ones divided by 7 equals 8 ones.
It needed to be divided by 70.
I guess. Now let's take a look at C.
Yes.
Why is this reasonable?
Because decimals.
No!
Because
Quit making noises! I told you to put that in your locker.
No, you should have put it on.
It's in your mouth. Okay. It's not just because they both have decimals, Mia. They both have decimals showing what? The same place value, right? If I have hundredths place value here, I've got to have hundredths there. Do you remember when I said whatever you start with, if you're dividing by a whole number, that's what you end with? Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Whatever place value I start with, just like here, unit form. Okay, Jaden. Did you want to add something?
She said that if you just because it has a decimal in it, it could have been 8/10.
Right. So just because they both had decimals didn't make it right. You knew it was right because they had decimals showing hundredths on both of them. You can't have decimals that place values don't match. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Turn it over and look at the exit ticket. I'm still not satisfied that you know what you're doing, but we're going to give it our best shot. What is it best to think of these as? Unit form, right? So rewrite those for me. Okay, so B at the bottom is like we practiced on the other side of the paper. A at the bottom is not like we practiced. All you have to do here is change it to unit form and then change it back. So what's 45/10 as unit form? 4 5/10 as unit form. 45/10. Then you're just going to divide that by 5. Okay, are there any questions? Okay, eyes up here for a minute.